Hello there, and welcome to Guaranteed Adventures, where the stories might change, but the adventure is guaranteed. This is session 0 of our upcoming adventure called Maplewood. I am this adventure's GM, Tim, and I think we'll just start off by all of our players just introduce yourself. Going around the table, we've got
Nathan playing Bertram Honksleaf. Bertram is a loose goose with partner is a moose and is on the loose. Yes, I'm keeping that.
Did it in one.
So there's not quite a goose in the Humblewood setting, so we kind of the Stout Strig is what we're going with for him, but playing as more of a goose Barbarian with a little bit of a dip into Cleric. We are made level 6 characters. He is 5 levels in Barbarian with a 1 level scoop into Cleric. Bertram was originally like a fighter, part of the gaggle, something that will be probably explained more by Tim later on.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
But so he was originally part of the gaggle. His father was killed in battle. He kind of went on his own path, did his own thing, and then came back and is more part of the faith now, which is hence why he's a little bit of the Cleric.
Hi, I'm Seth, and I'll be playing Otis Sagraine. Otis is a level 6 rogue swashbuckler who loves to be the center of attention. He has very high acrobatics and persuasion and deception, and is very rarely at a loss for words. Otis is a maple leaf, a sort of a messenger for the Great Maple, delivering a quest and seeing it through. So he is eager to go out on his first big adventure and do some good in the world. But as we'll soon find out, Otis may be in for more than he bargained for.
Yeah, I'm the other Seth, once again, behind the important Seth. And I will be playing Quill Greybell, who is a Hedge, which, fun fact, it's a hedgehog type character.
No,
I know, crazy.
What?
No one would have thought. He is a level 6 ranger, so 5 levels in ranger, 1 level in rogue. He is part of the Shade, which is kind of more of the assassin guild, the assassin group. He is ultimately a family man, though, and hopefully you'll find out pretty quickly that they are a big priority in his life, and he just wants to get things done as quickly as possible so he can get back home to his family. But he's looking forward to going on this adventure with his best friend and compatriot, Jean, who we will talk about next.
Hey, it's Kyle.
Nope.
It's your boy.
It's your boy. I am playing Jean Autant. He is a Pronghorn Cervan, which is basically like a deer person, but I'm a moose. And I am a level 6 Vengeance Paladin. He's a Vengeance Paladin because his master was killed in front of him, and he couldn't get revenge for it, so he wants to have vengeance on the person that killed his master.
Ooh.
Hopefully he'll find him in this campaign.
A revenge story.
A revenge story.
Love it.
Probably won't come up.
Probably won't.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
yeah. We probably will never find out.
It's
Shame.
little to no.
No importance.
Just kidding. So our system and setting, if you were listening, kind of might have picked up on it a little bit. We are playing in 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. If you're not familiar with that system, almost everything is determined initially by a d20 roll and then modified according to the stats that each character has. So if you have higher wisdom, you might get a buff to certain checks. I think like perception and religion or something like that. Or if you have higher dexterity, you'd have a better chance of succeeding on an acrobatics roll. There are a lot of different classes and race options. We will be basing our adventure in the Humblewood campaign setting put out by Hit Point Press. And what I love about Humblewood is that it introduces some new species. So there's the bird folk, which are Luma, which are kind of like pigeons. The Corvum, which are more like ravens.
Crows,
ravens, stuff like that. The Raptors, which are like your eagles and those types of birds, the birds of prey. Gallegos, which are like chickens, and the Strig are like owls. So that's the bird folk. And then the humble folk, they introduce the Vulpins, which are kind of like wolves or foxes, something like that. The Mopok, which are raccoons. The Jerbeens, which are kind of small, like mice, vole, field mouse type things. The Hedges, which are hedgehogs. And then the Cervan, which are kind of deer-like creatures. The world background. Coming into what we're calling Maplewood. In this world, the Great Calamity happened about 10 years ago, burning and killing off a major portion of the world that was then called the Grove. The Grove was once peaceful and the hub of creativity and invention, but was wiped away in a massive forest fire that ripped through it. Rumors and tales surround what is now called the Scorched Grove. In this world, we have two major organizations. The first is the Order of the Maple Leaf, which all of our characters are a part of, and so they're very sought after in the land. And then the second organization is the Bandit Coalition, which I'm not going to give away too much about, but it might come up in a little bit. The Order of the Maple Leaf, it was set up to protect and serve the citizens of Maplewood and the Great Maple. The Order has many different factions, each serving some purpose of the Great Maple. And then throughout the wood, there are monasteries that have caretakers of those areas. And this is one of the highest callings anyone in the faction can have, is to become a caretaker of the monastery. And so our characters are actually going to be finishing their training to become caretakers of the monastery that they're at. Guys, do you have any questions?
So who's the big bad?
Ooh, there's not one. It's actually just entropy, just the time and everything just kind of going on and ending. So yeah.
How many luck points do we get per episode?
You get that's based on your role playing. So you really have got to role play, lean in hard to that role play, and you won't get any. So that's
Fair enough.
Sweet. Well, that is our introduction to Maplewood. We hope you would enjoy this adventure as much as we will enjoy putting it on for all of you. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that.
Okay.
I think I'm
Yeah,
good with
great.
that. Yep.
We're going to keep
sweet.
that.
Perfect. Well,
Raw and unedited.
Brought to you by Mark Zuckerberg.
yes. I've been watching a lot of his videos, taking inspiration from my...
Listeners, if we had video right now, you would see a deathpan face right now. He's laughing, but his eyes are not.
It's gone. There's nothing there. So, well, we're guaranteed adventures. What do I say?
We'll see you next week with the first episode.
Bye.